guys, it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com, and today we're driving one of my favorite cars, a 1994 Mercedes E500. Now, I love cars from the 90s. If you follow the channel, you know I own a 993 Turbo. My first NSX was a 1995. I've owned various Corvettes from the 90s, Mustang GTs. I love 90s cars. And this is a great one. It's powered by a 5-liter V8, 315 horsepower, 349 foot-pounds of torque. Now, before we take it for a spin, let's go over the interior. All right, guys, one of the first things you notice about any Mercedes is the interior, and this is definitely a 90s Mercedes interior. As we can see, the big steering wheel here with the airbag, the Mercedes emblem. The gauges are very simple and very efficient. So you have the speedometer, you have your oil, you have your gas gauge, your temperature, and this car is covered 143,957 miles, and you would never know it. Even the clock still works. That actually is an accurate time. And even though this is an automatic, you still have the tachometer. Now, I love about this car, the 5-liter V8. That's my favorite type of engine, a normally aspirated V8. And another great thing about this car. So here you have all, you have the wood, you have your defroster, you have your seats, you have all the controls here, hazards, the interior air, the defroster, and look at this temperature control here. So here we can make it anywhere from, wow, let's see, we can go above 85 to lower than 65, and the air conditioning works just great. Has an aftermarket stereo. Alpine stereos back in 1994 weren't very good, so you definitely want this type of stereo. Here you have your seats, your heated seats down here on both sides, and your automatic transmission. And Mercedes always has the shifter, instead of going up and down like an American car always has the shifter, just like that. And here you have your window switches. So just like my E46 M3, you have the window switches on the side here. You have your storage compartments. And this is in great shape. I mean, look at the leather from a 1994 car. And again, this is in the era where you had kind of like the big airbags. But the vents, it's a very clean look. I love this interior. I don't see how you'd ever get tired of it. You have your cruise control, you have your lights, everything's very efficient. Well, I think I'm done looking at the interior, that I would like to drive it. All right, guys, so let's take the Mercedes E500 for a spin. You've already seen the interior. Now would be a good time to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. All right, so let's try out this 5-liter V8. The engine's nice and warm. Oh, wow. So the first thing you notice in this car is torque. So this is in an era of naturally aspirated engines where the torque a lot of times exceeded the horsepower. So here we have actually more torque than horsepower. Somebody spent good money on this car. The steering wheel looks like it's been rewrapped. The interior's kind of been redone, and it's really in excellent condition. So let's take it around a turn here. Now, this is a luxury car first, but I guess a fast Autobahn cruiser. Oh, it sounds great. Whoa. Oh, wow, it really sounds. I love the V8 sound. That's my favorite type of engine for sure. Now, just imagine cruising down the Autobahn in this car, and people probably get out of your way. It's a very menacing looking car. It's got the AMG wheels, which I think really look good. I like the color in this car. I like the contrast with the interior. This particular car has the monoblock wheels, which I think it really makes it stand out, really makes it look excellent. Now, with a car like this still has your standard suspension, so you don't have to worry about the electronic suspension. That could fail, or people that run stop signs. So the brakes work. Oh, wow, this car sounds like a V8 muscle car. It's like a DTM car. So on this particular car, one of the reasons it sounds so good is the cats have been removed and replaced. This is not how it sounded off the showroom floor. Wow, this car really drives good. It really does. I mean, it's got miles on it, but you know what? It works because it's been driven. That just shows you, this is probably, you know, one of the in the 90s was probably the best era for Mercedes in quality. These cars just last forever. And this has the emblem over the hood. My grandmother used to say to me, Glenn, when I had my E46 M3, the first one, she'd be like, how do you drive a car where you can't see the hood? So here you can see the hood, you can see the emblem, just like her big old Cadillac was. Yeah, it's got a great ride to it. It's got a lot of power. You can really feel the torque from the 5-liter V8. Now, what's special about this car is this was built in collaboration with Porsche. Porsche actually built this car for Mercedes. Now, is this a corner carver? No, it's not. But it's a great highway car, great on the open roads like we have it here. Plenty of power under your right foot, and really just fun to drive, and you have something special. Anybody can buy a new Mercedes off the showroom floor. You really have a special car if you own this car. Now, this car is actually for sale, so we'll put a link. Thank you to Gulf Motorsports for allowing us to review this car. If you're interested, you can contact them directly if you're interested in buying this car. The Lotus Esprit that we did a video on has already sold, so you know, this one I'm sure will sell soon as well. Yeah, this is a pretty cool car. I like this. You feel like it got a lot of power under your right foot. And the handling is pretty good too. I mean, the body roll is minimal, especially from a car from the 90s, you know. And even steering effort. If you drive a car from the 90s, like my first NSX was a 95, you got to turn the wheel a lot to actually get the car to turn. You know, now modern cars, you barely turn it and the car goes around and turn. Back then, you had to put a lot of steering input on 90s cars. And I noticed that this, I'm not turning the wheel a whole lot to get it to go around the turns. And the handling is pretty good. All right, let's take it on some more back roads. Yeah, you can really feel the engine pulling. Now, New Jersey has really bumpy, pothole-filled roads. As you can see, this car is not shaking as bad as the other cars I reviewed, so this car actually has a very good ride. There's a new C300 in front of us. Yeah, you can really feel it when you get on the gas. Now, even at 2,000 RPM, looking at the tachometer here, you really have some power, so the torque is available down low. Gas mileage on this car is 16 city, 19 highway. Again, you're not buying this type of car for gas mileage. You know, now all the new luxury cars, you're looking at 6-cylinder turbos, 4-cylinder turbos. Here you can still get a naturally aspirated V8, and it makes such a huge difference when you drive. Let's make a left here and go for some more turns. We got a nice stretch of road here for turns, so let's see how it does. All right. Oh wow, look at that sound. Sounds like you're driving a DTM car almost. Yeah, look at that. It's going through the turns. We had some sharper ones there. It went right through them. And unfortunately, we caught the car in front of us. Very stable car, very minimal body roll. You know, the brakes are luxury car brakes. I mean, that's to be expected. Even though it sounds like a sports sedan, it's a luxury car first. Wow, here we go. And even at low RPMs, you're definitely getting that shove from the torque. Torque is more fun than horsepower, in my opinion. Some more turns. Here comes a real tight one coming up. And no worries at all. This can kind of be your special weekend car. Take the kids out, take the family out to lunch or wherever you want to go up your favorite roads. And I guarantee if you have this car, you're going to find the long way to do it. It's just so much fun to drive. Let's do another sweeper here. Going uphill, we got plenty of power. Go up the hill and through the turns. Oh, look at this old Thunderbird here in front of us. Oops. Go slow. Another opportunity to exercise our right foot. Another school. right, guys, well, I'm going to keep enjoying this car. So remember to like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments and your thoughts below. And again, there's a link to the car if you're interested in it. And I will see you next time.